Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix. I'm Sileo, Tales of a New Dawn. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it for free on itch.io. And if you want to support the people that make this game and or get the newest version earlier, you can go to their Patreon. So, on the last Let's Play, we went and got some gym equipment and told Diego that we want him to enter the tournament, the fighting one, and at which point he's like, okay, so set up, why you do this? And we were like, well, you know, I'm not sure if I actually said self-esteem, but we said Ty was involved. It's like, yeah, okay, I kind of felt that way, that he was going to do that. We also had some workout session, which got a little steamy for our husky friend. You know, the main character. Went to go eat at Ty's, and then had a nice walk home, holding hands for a little bit. Romance and all that stuff. Hyena. Now let's reset my face just a bit. And start. The day had commenced with a phone call from Lucas, requesting my help in preparing flyers and other promotional materials for the fighting tournament that unsurprisingly sounded quite familiar to me. I was due to go shortly, and was just waiting for breakfast to be done first. Diego was in the kitchen, busily cooking away, while I sat on the couch, waiting while yawning my head off. I hadn't slept well at all the previous night, ooh. I had Diego on my mind constantly. Not that I minded, but I could have done with a few more hours, should I? It was all I could think about. The clear sign that I was in love. Aww. And the fact that those feelings were mutual made it all the more wonderful. It wasn't some ambitious daydream, rather something more tangible. The previous night was spent imagining scenarios of how things might proceed and the circumstances that might lead to our first kiss, or perhaps even something else. It was early days yet, but I couldn't help but get excited of what lay ahead. The future seemed bright, and I couldn't wait to finally experience it. The realization of a crush years in the making. Yeah, I usually feel that friendship relationships are the best. If you maybe not risk the relationship, but like somebody that you enjoy hanging out with, and that's, you know, you add a bit of romance to it, it's like great, because if you don't want to fuck, you can hang out, which I feel like is something that was missing for like lots of generations of the past, where it's like, okay, we don't have any romantic or economic obligations with each other, we're gonna have nothing to do with each other. Here we are, breakfast burgers, just like the ones you make. Diego placed the plate in front of me. Sure enough, he had presented a near replica of the burgers I had previously made for him. You really like those burgers, don't you? I practically live on them. I don't think mine are quite as good as yours, though. They look pretty good to me. Besides, seeing as I'm sticking around, there'll be plenty of time to teach you. Oh yeah, he was asking if we're going to leave the place, because I guess that was the plan, but I didn't remember that. You know, that we're going to stay here for now and then find some other place. Yeah, I really look forward to it. We sat together and shared our meals before I was finally due to leave. You're not doing anything today, right? Nope. It's a day off for me. Alright, well, this doesn't sound like it's gonna take long. I'll see you later, yeah? Looking forward to it. I arrived at Lucas's immediately got to work. Lucas? How do you do that? Is it just Lucas? Or is it Lucas's? I think it'd be Lucas's. Anyways, the sooner I began, the sooner I'd finish and have the rest of the day to myself. I had been paired with Dom this time, using a guillotine of sorts to separate several flyers printed together on a larger piece of paper. And a guillotine. Eric, meanwhile, was helping Lucas overcome his frustrations with the printer. Paper jam? Why? It was printing fine a second ago. You got to make sure it's in straight. Ooh. It was. Eric opened a flap at the back of the printer and pulled out a crumpled piece of paper before closing the printer again and turned to Lucas. Okay, hit it, handsome. I'll hit you if you keep calling me handsome. Oh, please do, Daddy. Was that someone knocking at the door? I don't know. I've kind of heard somebody go... Well, I'm trying to replicate the thing, but it was like, okay, probably don't want to be making jokes like that. Someone's next to the door and talking about dongs, you know? And just make sure my face is incorrect. And stuff's still there. You never know when somebody's knocking on the door needing to ask you something. Things seem to be largely business as usual between the two. Here's another stack to be cut into quarters. Thanks. I always like using those, like... What was the thing? Those things was like a board and then like a large knife at one end. Those are fun to like just cut things into smaller things. Even though I don't remember actually ever using it too much. You know, for anything other than entertainment. I look at the stack I took the stack from Dom and immediately began to separate them while lost in my own mind. Don't cut your own finger off. Hey, I was wondering, remember how we found that abandoned building a while back? Oh yeah, this time around I decided that we'd go back there and do stuff. I do. Axel was really excited to go. He'd been pressuring me about it non-stop, so I was thinking, if you and Diego were free, maybe you'd like to come along this afternoon? Axel's excited? Really? He seemed to be hesitant before. Still, you can count me in. I had been wondering when we were going to get around to that. Great. Can I ask you to invite Diego as well? Sure thing. It'll be our fuck place. And I'll bring my famous sandwiches too. So if you need a bargaining chip. Diego will do just about anything when there's good food involved. I bet he'll come running when he hears that there's a sandwich in it for him. He's so incredibly predictable. You're not wrong, but with all the exercise he's doing now, it's going towards a good cause. Oh, he's going to the gym again? Nah, we set up something of a home gym. I had up one of my freshly cut flyers to show Dom. He's participating in this very tournament, actually. Oh really? That's great. I'll have to come out and watch his fights. No, I thought question came back into my head I was thinking earlier. I wonder if any other characters fucked and/or were romantic with Kyron, the lizard guy. Because that would make other stories interesting, you know? I'm sure that'd be good for him too. He's been down in the dumps a bit recently. That's the hope. It's working. Good job. Job well done, Eric. We should celebrate. Damn right we should. As he said it, I bore witness to the weirdest thing I'd seen all day. Eric, clearly feeling more confident than ever, slapped Lucas right on the backside. Stranger still, Lucas didn't seem to mind one bit. The two of them wandered out of the building, Eric's arm around Lucas's waist as they walk. Uh-huh. What the hell did I miss? Who knows? Like, slap in the back? Okay, hand around his waist? Anyway, finish cutting those flyers. We can head our way. Sounds good. I did as I asked before Dom and I made our way towards the woods, having arranged to meet with Axel and Diego part way. The four of us have arrived at the abandoned building. Dom claimed, Axel seemed unusually excited about it all. Diego, on the other hand, was absent-mindedly munching away on his sandwich. I mean, if there's those tiny little watercress sandwiches with eggs and mayo, that would be pretty damn good. I could murder a whole set of those. Several sets, actually. All right, everyone ready? Yep. What about you, Diego? Ready? Huh? Diego looked up from chewing a mouthful of sandwich. He politely ordained or ordained to swallow his mouth before he replied, okay, it was ordained. I was like, it sounds like ordained, but that's not the word, right? Oh yeah, ready. Tom approached the door and tried the handle, causing the door to creak ajar. Would you look at that? It's open. Didn't he bring the drill after all? What would you bring the drill for? Like to drill the lock? Don pushed the door open fully and walked inside, with the three of us tailing behind. But wasn't it locked before? It was, well, what'd you expect? Dusty, run down, totally ruined. Light was flooding the room through the several holes in the roof, and the floor below our feet showed obvious signs of water damage. Take it easy, guys. Old buildings like this tend to have cellars. Wouldn't want to fall through the floor. The four of us began to explore the building. Axel pushed on ahead with Dom tailing closely behind, while Diego and I went off in separate directions, curious as to what secrets the building might hide. I entered into what was likely an old bedroom, even though it looked like a one-room building. There was a rusty bed frame and several items of broken and watered wooden furniture. My exploration caused me to disturb a thick layer of dust coating the room. I coughed several times before regaining my composure. What happens to nature dust, you know? Where does all that dust go? Is it just gonna get watered in the dirt or something? I found nothing much of interest in the bedroom, so I returned to the entrance, where I found Diego already waiting for me. Find anything? Not unless you're in the market for a rusty bed. The best kind. Nothing on my end either. A few old books, a melted candle, some graffiti. Hey, if there's graffiti, we can't have been the first in here, right? There. I guess so. I was wondering, the last time we came here, the door was locked. Who do you think unlocked it? Ah, I was right. Jacob pondered this for a moment, only to be interrupted by Dom and Axel's return. Nothing much on our end. The place has been pretty much stripped. Adrian was just thinking, who do you think unlocked the door? That's a good point. Well, I'd say this place is a bust. What are you hoping to find exactly? Something interesting. I don't know exactly what. Explored an old hospital outside Summersville a few years back. Oh yeah? The morgue had this big sealed door on it. Someone had etched "Help me" into the metal on the inside. That sounds spooky. I don't think it was anything important. Probably some kids did it to screw with people like us, after that place had already closed down. Still, I wish I could have seen it. It wasn't like Axel at all. Anyway, sorry to waste your time with this place. Shall we head on our way? Sure thing. The four of us made our way towards the door. All of a sudden, Diego tripped, scaring the hell out of the rest of us. Are you okay? Yeah, but what exactly did I trip on? Looking at where Diego had fallen, I noticed a small bump beneath the moldy old rug. Diego clearly noticed this too as he lifted the rug, revealing a trap door. Ah, I knew there'd be a cellar. Yes, let's explore. Dom looked at myself and Diego, waiting for our opinion. I don't see why not. Did you guys bring torches? Nope. Neither did I, honestly. Well, I've got one, and I assume, also for a translation, torch is a flashlight in America. Dom pulled out a flashlight of his own. Okay, he says flashlight. Unless he actually meant a torch. You know, like one turn on by lighting it. 2 lights between the 4 of us. We will manage. Diego nodded and lifted the trap door. Sorry. Reading needs me on. Revealing a small wooden staircase down to a lower level. Axel went down first, followed by Dom. Diego then made his way down, with me taking up the rear. The fuck? Below was what appeared to be some kind of dungeon. Despite the upper floor being old, the lower level was clearly much older, still, as evidenced by its cobblestone construction and iron braziers. Where the hell are we? Jackpot! Look at this place. This place has to be hundreds of years old at least. Ooh. Looks like we've got 2 paths ahead of us. Axel and I will go right. You guys... Okay. Hey, you guys okay to go left? Do you really think we should be splitting up in a place like this? That's how you get killed in horror movies. Pshaw. Good thing this ain't a horror movie. Then we will meet you guys back here when we're done on our end, okay? Sounds a bit louder, but no, it should be fine. The 2 of them began making the way down to the right-hand passage. Although... Yeah. Heck. All the while, holding each other's hands. Ooh, ooh. Would you look at that? Maybe we should hold hands too, huh? You feeling scared? Oh, absolutely petrified. I grabbed Diego's hand, which seemed to somewhat surprise him. Presumably, he didn't expect me to take his joke seriously. Regardless, it was too good of an opportunity to pass up on. The 2 of us headed down the left-hand passage, with Diego holding a flashlight in his free hand. It was a truly interesting place we'd quite literally stumbled upon. I keep expecting to see a bonfire or something down here. What are you talking about? Dark Souls? Heh, never mind. Well, I guess it's as good a time as any. Diego pulled out a bottle of spirits from God knows where and began taking swigs. Dude, where the hell did you get that from? A man never tells. Besides, nothing like a bit of liquid courage when you're exploring a scary place, right? I shook my head. Ty was right. Diego really did have a problem. I feel like on a day off, like this doesn't... I wouldn't exactly call that a problem, but I'm not sure exactly... Like the past day or 2 maybe, but right now doesn't seem like the biggest problem. The hallway ahead seemed to stretch on, like if he did it like every day or every other day, sure. It also depends on how much he's drinking, you know. Yeah, me saying that. The hallway ahead seemed to stretch on a long way into the distance, making it drastically larger than the house had served as the entrance. Given the difference in age between the 2, I wondered if the house was built to help conceal the dungeon. The dungeon? On each side of the path, there were rusty iron-barred doors, with small rooms behind them. They almost look like they're cells. Yep. What else could they be? I reckon once upon a time, they locked people up in these. So, like, we have our flashlights, but are these braziers burning? How old do you think is this place anyway? Tom said, at least hundreds of years. Nobody has built anything like this for a long time. Sheesh. Just what have we found? Diego pulled his hand away from mine as he wandered over to inspect one of the cells. I shrugged and did the same with the cell opposite, only to find the door was locked. I heard a squeak of rusty metal as Diego wandered into a clearly unlocked cell on his side. He took a quick look around inside before returning to me. Nothing. What about over here? He raised his torch and shone it through the iron bars of the door. There were bones. Jeez. What do you think those belong to? Took a closer look. I could only deduce they belonged to. Say, don't these look like they came from a person, candid like us, too? Maybe they're yours. I've been hankering to get a good look at your bones. That was awful. The two of us continued down the hall. Diego shined his torch into each cell as we passed. Alas, none of the remaining cells contained anything of note. Down the hatch. Diego took several more swigs of his drink before emitting a loud burp that echoed off the cobblestone walls surrounding us. I mean, is it a mixed drink or is it like full thing? It's like several swigs? Yeesh. What? He staggered silently as he did it. He'd gone from sober to alarmingly drunk in a short order. Next, he turned the bottle upside down, catching the final drops in his mouth before tossing the bottle against the wall, causing it to shatter. Yeah. He'd gone through the entire bottle of spirits in only a few minutes. I mean, he is a big guy, but still. I grew dramatically more concerned when he pulled out another bottle? Where did he get that from? Also from God knows where, and began drinking from that. Diego, what's gotten into you? Sure, it's just a bit of, fun. I ain't hurting nobody. Christ. He finished the entire second bottle right before my eyes, before stumbling and falling to the ground, smashing his flashlight, and plunging into darkness as a result. Oh, us into darkness. I thought it was like, and then he plunged into darkness, like, wait, isn't this a hallway? Several seconds went by in absolute silence. Diego? There was no response. I reached into my pocket and pulled out my cell phone, switching on the light. Not ideal, but it would have to do. My phone sufficed to light the area immediately before me. What I saw, or perhaps didn't see, caused me concern. Diego was nowhere to be found. Are we dreaming? Diego? Where are you? My voice echoed through the halls of the dungeon, but I heard no response. After a few moments, however, the passageway leading to my right began glowing brighter and brighter. Why would Diego run off like that? At least, he was coming back now that I called him. Adrian, is everything okay? Oh, it's you guys. I, lost track of Diego. What? But he had the light. I know. He, tripped, and it went out. I turned on the light from my phone on and, well, I can't find him. He can't have gone far. Let's keep moving forward, and hopefully he'll turn up somewhere. Also, you guys are canines. You have good I think you have good hearing. We have a good sense of smell, at least. We proceed together past the point where the two paths had converged. Beyond lay several more cells, with nothing of note, until reached the end, where there was a large wooden door standing slightly ajar. With a silent nod between the three of us, we opened the door and entered the room that lay beyond. Here. What we found within was shocking to say the least. It was some kind of torture, an execution chamber. There was one of those old racks. They stretched people in, a guillotine, several other implements I did not recognize, and in the middle of the room, an Iron Maiden. I mean, that's off to the side. What the hell? Awesome! I approached the Maiden and attempted to pry it open. Alas, it would not budge, no matter how hard I pulled. Also, there's a lot of blood. What are you doing? I don't think we should hang around here. I know, I'm just... No. What is it? Dom peeked through the window. The window? And fell backwards to the floor with a cry. He'd seen what I'd seen. Diego was within, and the spikes were very much still present. It's high time we left this place. You wouldn't want to meet the one responsible for this. I feel like this is a whole prank or something. I don't know. Because it would be really messed up to be like, and then we just killed off this character. What? What about Diego? It comes. But a shadow began to coalesce somewhere in the corner of the room before a man turned fired. Run! The three of us burst from the room and began sprinting as quickly as our legs could carry us. The creature's rapid, heavy footsteps trailed close behind. I dared not to look back, fearing what I might see, and instead continued to run. As I went, I had to take great care to avoid tripping over bottles. Somehow it seemed as though they multiplied, and were now littering the ground, covering almost every inch of the cobblestone. Seriously? There was no time to be careful ever, as the presence was hot on my heels. I continued to run as quickly as I could, and hoped that my shoes were strong enough to repel any shards of broken glass I might stand on. Finally, I arrived at a ladder where Dom was already halfway up, and Axel was just beginning to climb himself. I thought it was like, I don't know, stairs? Climb faster, it's nearly here. Dom disappeared over the top as Axel began to lift himself onto the floor above. I jumped on the ladder as quickly as I could and began climbing, but it was too late. What's the rush? Stay a while. Join your friend. In my sex dungeon. What do you think this is? What happened? Adrian, come on. Huh? There's a customer. You're sleeping at your desk. I lifted my head from the table and looked around. I was at work? Over in the corner, Lucas and Eric were fussing over a printer, and the guillotine sat before me, a half-cut piece of paper resting beneath its table. Was it all a dream? The whole thing was so real, yet so bizarre. It couldn't possibly be anything but. I must have been much more tired than I thought. I noticed that as Dom had said, someone else was in the room with us, talking with Lucas in a rather subdued manner, as Lucas alternated between the scowl between the customer and the printer. After a brief conversation, the man turned to leave, but stopped in his tracks, having spotted me. There was something eerily familiar about him. He walked over to me. Adrian, I presume? Huh? You work for Ty, as well as Lucas, do you not? What a busy life you must lead. I could have sworn I'd seen him somewhere before. Ah, but I don't need to interrupt your hard work. Please, accept my apologies. They're even bowed courteously before taking his leave. My eyes followed him as he exited the room, and then it suddenly clicked. Was it him that was following me in that dungeon? Perhaps. I'd stirred in my sleep and unknowingly included in my dream. Stirred in my sleep. At least I thought it was him. Today was just too strange. I turned to Dom, who seemed considerably more unfazed than I. Who the hell was that? Oh, that's Spencer. It's rare seeing him out in a boot, so I'm not surprised you haven't met him yet. Yeah, apparently we haven't seen like more than half the characters in this game, but most likely side characters. Huh? Any idea why? None, though I do believe he's an associate of Ty's. He knows Lucas by extension, I think. I'm not really sure how though. Maybe I made a mental note to ask Ty about this Spencer next opportunity I had. Lucas didn't notice me sleeping, did he? I think he's a little preoccupied with the print right now. I gazed over towards Lucas and Eric. It's working. It's jammed. What? Yep, sorry boss. So he must have fallen asleep, early on, you know, because they were being all buddy-buddy. Lucas grabbed the printer by the sides and immediately tipped onto the floor with a loud crash and the sound of breaking glass. Eric, we're going printer shopping. Roger that, hot stuff. One more word out of you, and I'll punch you into the moon, I swear. Thank God, the two of them are back to normal. Oh hey, by the way. Yeah? I managed to talk Axel into exploring the abandoned building, I was gonna say dungeon, this afternoon. So, I was wondering if... Oh! Nope. Huh? I mean, no thank you. Diego and I have plans this afternoon. Oh, that's a shame. Oh well. I'll be sure to let you know what we find. Have fun. Don't die. We'll try not to, I guess. Phew, that was a close one. I didn't have any plans, but I preferred boredom over, well, whatever it was I just dreamt up. Real or no, I didn't want to take my chances. I took time to finish cutting my flyers, clocked out, and left the building. The time to finish. Well, with that, and us hitting that 30-minute mark, I think that's a good time to call it with the sex dungeon. So anyways, end of this Let's Play. So comment, guys, I like comments, don't you like dislike? Tip 6 otherwise. Sorry, it makes me yawn. And I guess I haven't been getting tons of rest stuff. My jaw feels okay over there. Please comment. I think I said comment. Spay neuter your animals to help control the pet population. And if you want to play this game, free on itch.io. And if you want to support the people that make this game and or get the newest version earlier, then you can go to Patreon, $5 a month. And until next time, another Let's Play by me, GamerWolfSix of Sileo, Tales of a New Dawn, which has ho-ho stories, but definitely not as scary as that one from Morinatsu. You know, the one that we're like, I can't find the ticket, and the store owner's like, hey, I'm gonna tell you this scary story about a kid who was very poor and got sick and died, and then there's that jump scare, and it's just like, dude, what the fuck? That came out of nowhere. We're looking for a ticket and you're telling us ghost stories for some reason, and giving us a jump scare. Fuck. So anyways, thanks and see ya.